Hello and welcome to Therapist Talks. And I'm your host, Alex and Roy. And this show, we're going to dive deep into the world of massage therapy, wellness, and self-care. Today, we are focusing on the art and science of massage. And today, we have an incredible talent and gifted individual. He is a remarkable person. I met him, and you know when you're talking to somebody that's just on a different frequency and you can relate to that. So I really am glad to have him on this show today. He has over 15 years of experience, and so at this table you probably have about 35 years of experience at hand. So we got a lot to say, we got a lot to talk about. This is not scripted. The only script that we do have is to make sure that we talk about all the things that we need to in this time period. But everything else we talk about is from the heart. That's right. It's all about our experiences and what we bring to this beautiful world of massage therapy and physical therapy. Mm-hmm. So let's jump right in.
That's right.
What is your professional background?
My professional background as a massage therapist, or just a professional? I'm messing.
What type of professional are you?
I'm a professional of all professions. Yeah. No, but in any case, I'm a licensed massage therapist as well as a shiatsu practitioner, and I also practice qigong.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. What led you to pursue a massage therapy career?
Many years ago, a loved one of mine was getting some physical therapy work, and I was like, that looks real interesting, but I didn't pursue it at that time. That was just a seed. And then later on, another person that I knew that was in my life said, we need to change what we're doing. This is in the late 90s, so everyone's trying to make a change. And I said, you know what? I'm interested in manual therapy. I want to leave this corporate world and do something manual. And that led me into massage therapy. Actually, led me into shiatsu first.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The arts of massage is deeper than a lot of people really understand. As a massage therapist, of course, you have to be accustomed to touch. You have to be accustomed to listening to people, different types of people. But the thing is, if you can enter in through different modalities or different aspects of actual, taking care of people and what their needs are, it gives you a different depth of touch. So the fact that you came in doing something totally different than massage definitely puts you on a different level playing or playing field than a lot of us that just went into straight massage and then went into other things. Right. And massage is definitely spiritual. It's definitely, there's like a frequency to it. There's an understanding to it. There's something that, is very deep. And so it takes a lot. And so that's pretty good, And what area of massage do you specialize in?
At this point in time, I specialize in postural therapy and shiatsu.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, postural therapy, what is that? Like, I'm curious.
Well, you see, most people, when they think of posture, they think of either good or bad, but posture is basically an adaptation. You may have to lean over to do something for a specific period of time, or rotate your body to do something at a specific period of time. So it's all about adaptation. It's not about a good or bad situation, but my goal is to educate people on how it works on both ends, when your body is in a neutral position of rest and then the position of work, and how to balance the two. So that's how I use massage therapy as a form of touch to reach those goals with my client.
So have you worked in different types of settings or different type of venues?
Yeah. I never worked in the spa, kind of, thank goodness. I mean, some people love spa. That's, I'm not into that.
I don't love spas.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
The only reason I like to work in a spa is so that I could be outside of my environment, what I'm used to.
It's challenging.
Or I'm trying to help spa, because it's very hard to find good therapists.
Right.
Or
There's
I
that.
just, I used to do it in the beginning just to get clientele, not necessarily from the spa, but just to learn how to speak to clients, learn how to relate to clients. So in the beginning, the spa was a good teacher for me.
It's a
how
training
to
ground.
talk to people and how to relate to people. And so that's what I mean by that.
Okay. Yeah, so kind of the same thing for me. Fortunately, I never had to really work in those arenas for too long, but I have worked in chiropractic and personal, private. So those are my experiences.
Yeah. I think the chiropractic offices are really the absolute best places to work in,
Yes.
because it's like you have a combination of chiropractic and massage, and it's like we kind of complement each other.
Exactly.
When we when we're working. So we're there to kind of get them ready for whatever the chiropractor is about to do. And then a lot of times we're also there to help them facilitate, their offices.
Exactly.
So it's just a good setting. It's a good therapeutic setting, and people come there for results. So it's
Right.
it's a very good place to work in.
But there's a difference sometimes between the two. They're on a time clock, so to speak, in a chiropractor office.
Right.
So it's a great experience to work in a chiropractor office and feel that time clock, and then in your own private practice, extend that time clock. To kind of bridge the gap on. There's certain things they're not going to get in a chiropractic setting when it comes to massage therapy.
Right.
And you could kind of use that as a leverage in your own practice. When it comes, because sometimes you get a client who's been directly from a chiropractor, and you can kind of piggyback on what they learned or what they experienced at the chiropractor within your own practice.
Right. Very true. Very true. So, with massage, massage evolves. The actual practice of massage evolves. You evolve as a practitioner. We've all started as novelists and not really knowing what to do, what to say, and somehow we create our own techniques. We create our own way of connecting with our clients. But I'm curious, like, where do you see massage going in the next 5 or 10 years?
It seems that it's going to be more remote based and consultation, and way more expansion of gadgetry, different things that a client can use on their own. For instance, when you're dealing with a massage gun, that was typically for us manual therapists, and now you have this whole barrage of people using massage guns, and
The wrong way.
the wrong way. You question, I dig deep. The whole idea is to loosen up the muscle, not pummel the muscle to death.
Right.
But I really see it going in that direction. A lot of people are really becoming more cerebral now.
Right.
So I think that's the direction it's going.
Yeah. I think technology and a lot of things factor into the advancement of massage. I really can't stand looking at those commercials with the robot giving people massages. That just makes no sense to me. I mean, we're going into this age of technology and AI and all these different things, but there's certain things you cannot take the place of. You can't do what plumbers do. You can't do what electricians do. You can't do that manual labor. And I think that massage is one of those manual labor jobs or services that you need somebody to put their hands on you.
Exactly.
I mean, the body is not a machine. I can understand if you have a car and you want to put it through some type of machine to test it because it's mostly electrical and technical, but we're human beings. We rely on touch, human touch.
Exactly.
And so I don't see technology really taking over in that regards, because I've never seen somebody want a chair massage, one of those chairs you sit in, more than me. So I don't really see those machines taking over. But
not to cut you off, pardon. it creates a bit of a disconnect as to what therapy is.
Right.
You know, is it just truly rubbing on a person for 5 minutes, or
Right.
is it the intention behind manipulating that tissue?
Right. And listening and understanding,
Right.
and like I said earlier, that there is a spiritual, and there's a connection there, and it's very real and very present, and we all need it at times. But as far as technology is concerned, you mentioned the Theragun. You know, they have electrical stim machines that are very good, but don't take the place. They never should take the place, because I give people those machines all the time. I tell them, don't let it take the place of me. And so I can see those being complementary to what we do, but not necessarily taking over what we do.
Exactly.
So that's huge. So yeah. What do you think massage therapists, what role do you think they play in holistics and the preservation of healthcare?
Well, it's the same thing, you know, to some degree. You know, the average person, when they go into a doctor's office, there's only a certain amount of time the doctor has to do diagnostic check. And literally it doesn't come with touch. It's just an intake of questions back and forth. So the client or the patient literally doesn't really get too much in that situation. Whereas when it comes to massage therapy, we do an intake and we also touch. And we take our time to inform the client about what the touch they're receiving is about. You know, and everything is sensory. It's, you know, this whole thing about what we call stress and tension is all sensory. And if you could help a person to really become in tune with their senses and what they feel, that's therapeutic right there. So once they get that quote unquote program within their body, it's easier for them to navigate within the medical fields. At least I feel.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. What is the most rewarding experience you've had as a massage therapist?
You know, every experience to me is one experience. But to try to answer your question, I remember dealing with a client, very cerebral, but also open to physical work. And we went through many different sessions explaining why he was experiencing what they were experiencing when he was working at the desk. And they took everything I said to heart. All the exercises, all the little different things. And we had a beautiful dialogue which actually propelled the session. And over the course of a year, they actually created their own team, their own wellness team. And we all talked to one another through him. And that was very rewarding. Just to see that take place over a year, like this person is actually listening, applying, and actually creating something based on the massage therapy.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most rewarding thing to me as well, is when I can actually explain to somebody what I know, what I see, what I think, you know, and they actually take it to heart and they actually use it for their benefit. And then kind of take it to another level and kind of incorporate it into other people's experiences and needs and desires and stuff like that. So I think in life, I think that's what we're all here for. We're here to learn, we're here to earn, and we're here to give back. So it's a full cycle, and that's really good. I'm glad you said it like that, because that in a nutshell is what we're here for. True therapists, what we're really here for. We're here to service and take care of people in a way that is unlike the doctors. You know what I mean? Not to say anything bad against doctors, but I feel like, you know, we're that extra. What's the word?
We're like that connection.
We're that connection to nature.
Right, there you go. There you go.
That's what it is. Whatever that word is,
right.
Please know that's what I'm talking about. It's that connection to nature. It's that connection to self. It's that connection to the divine. You know, we're only vessels in this service. And those that are humble and appreciate this job that we do it very well. So,
True.
so have you encountered any challenges or misconceptions about your profession, and how did you clear it up?
Typically, no, because I studied from the Eastern perception first, and in the Eastern perception, everything that's coming out the mouth of the client is we can use as a tool, to figure out what they're experiencing, whether it's anger, happiness. It's all tools. So anything that would be perceived as a misconception is an opportunity for education, as well as figuring out what that client is going through at the moment. So I never really took it to heart, like, personally.
Right.
Like if someone calls me a quote unquote masseuse, I'm like, okay, I just know where you've been educated at, and I'm going to give you the re-education, and we're going to move on from there. And there's no, I'm not, because, I don't know, you've been in this game for a while like me, and, you get some of the young therapists, and they treat it like it's a personal thing at times. And it's not all young therapists, and some of the older ones too, and it's not a personal thing.
It's not personal.
And the more you do that, the more your currency will come in and your income. That will make a beautiful experience. But if you're always like you should never be against the client,
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, I never really experienced that because I don't have that, I don't look at it that way.
Right.
It's hard for me to look at it any other way.
Yeah. I have a lot. But this is not about me. This is not about me. But I take all the experiences to heart, bad or good, and it's made me the therapist that I am. It's made me very more humble. It's made me more intuitive, and it's made me want to do better as a therapist. So I don't really have any stories to say, but I'll just say that whatever they were, they made me a much better person. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe that a lot of battles that we don't want to know about are being fought by angels and devils. And so there's a lot of battles that have cleared themselves up. Right. And thank goodness to the divine, God, Allah, and all those things, all those ancestors and all those people who have protected me and keep me going. So,
Ashe.
Was that a little too deep?
No, it's never too deep. We're still on the surface right now.
So, that's what I believe. But I definitely believe that in this profession, we are on a different frequency. I always say frequency because I think there's a different level of respect that we all have as practitioners for this, and I think that we bring everybody into that. And the longer we've done it, we lift ourselves higher in esteem and responsibility, and so that frequency I always talk about is very prevalent in what I do. And also I believe that in if you're not in this profession, there's just people out there that are on that same frequency. So that's why I have these shirts. Right. This is somatic frequency. As you see it, you can actually see it in physical form, and they have different types of frequencies that you can see. And somatic frequency is more or less you speaking into existence what it is that you want, what you desire, and what you choose to do. And I think that we all have it in us, and I think that the more we master into that, the more whole we become. Exactly. So, plug. What advice would you give someone concerning a career massage therapist?
First and foremost.
Let me ask that question again.
Okay.
Because that sounds a little confusing. Concerning a career, like considering a career in massage therapy, what advice would you give somebody just now coming into it?
You have to have fun. Okay? Anything you're doing within this profession, and by fun I mean there should be a certain zeal to learn as you go. and not have a place where you say, okay, I mastered this, because a master is just a renewed beginner anyway, right? So you have to have fun. Having fun will allow you to be more into what you're studying and get rid of the blockages. Because it could be very daunting, to go from not knowing anything about massage therapy and then going to school and learning it from many different aspects. You have pathology, you have so many different things that you need to know about in this profession. And you shouldn't look at all those things at once. Just look at it as an experience and have fun as you go. The more fun, the better for you.
Right.
I mean, that's the best advice I could give.
That's the only advice I can give. Because if you don't enjoy what you do, then you are miserable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you have reasons for doing what you do. Like, we all want to survive. We all want to do well. But I'm going to tell you one thing I ask therapists that work with me or for me or whatever. I ask them, why do you do this? If you say, I do this for the money, I will not hire you. We all do. We all do this to make a living. We all do this. I would not be hiring you if I wasn't going to help you make some money or we weren't going to make money. The thing is that you really have to love this. You have to love it. You have to embrace it. You have to really put as much into it, as you get from it.
Yes.
And so, but having fun is number one. Like, it's so funny because we met at these events, right? And so,
we're having fun at the events too.
I'm gonna tell you something fun. I'm gonna tell you something. It's like if he's not there or some other therapists aren't there, I'm miserable then because I'm like, man, some therapists are weird, and I'm gonna tell you that's why I really want to have these talks, because I really want to know where therapists are coming from. I really feel like a lot of therapists, and when I say weird, we're all weird. I'm weird. Right. I'm going to admit to it. So if you want to get offended, and you're a therapist, I'm sorry. You're just not real with yourself. Right. We're all weird. But what makes us weird? You know what I mean? Why can we not communicate? Why can we not work together? Is baffling to me. Right. But there's other therapists like Ja here that, man, I'm telling you, listen, if I have an event, I'm calling him. You know what I mean? Certain therapists, I'm calling them immediately because when I go into that space and I deal with those clients and I deal with those people that are stressed out, I want to have a good time. I want to enjoy taking care of them. You know what I mean? Right. And so for me, that's the most important thing. And a little background with me is I used to be an aerospace engineer. That was stressful.
Wait a minute. Where did that come from? Wow.
Hey, listen. I know what stress is. And when when what you do is, when people's lives depend on it like that, on a daily basis, on like a minute basis, second, you know what I mean? Like, that's stressful. And I always did massage on the side. But there was a moment in time where I had to make a decision. I had to really make that choice to enjoy the rest of my life, and do something that I felt like I was really good at and could enjoy and take care of people. So that's why I do this. If you don't know, now you know. Like Biggie said, if you don't know, now you know, baby.
Wow.
Okay, so what your clients know before booking their first massage? Any tips?
Well, expect to receive an intake, right? There has to be a dialogue about your history and the purpose of your being there,
Right.
And here's a tip. You are in charge to some degree, okay? So you could be vocal about your experience.
Please be vocal.
Okay.
Please, it's very important.
And be truthful. If it's painful, don't sit there and hold your body. It's like, okay, it's okay, go ahead. Be truthful.
Right.
There's no battle between you and your therapist. We're here to help you.
You know what I have a problem with, and this is I swear I've been doing this 20 years, and every time somebody says this, it irks me. You know what that word is?
I don't know, but I kind of feel I could get an idea.
Okay. It's like, how you feel? Okay.
Oh.
I'm okay.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Right.
Like, I'd rather hear a grunt, a moan, a scream.
Right.
I'd rather hear anything other than, okay.
Right. Just the monotone.
I'm all right.
Okay.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
I just can't read that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then I just try to divert to what is their feeling, what I feel like they're feeling,
Right.
how are they moving. Then I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to open up dialogue through your body because
There you go.
you're not speaking.
Right.
That's not helping.
And
But so
and that's
just to jump on-
problematic on their end.
It's very problematic on their end because I'm telling you, there's so many instances where, you hear back from a therapist or you hear back from a person, and you're like, well, I never knew. Like, I just didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, you went too deep, and I was like, well, we could have talked about that.
Right.
We could have made things better.
Right.
Um,
Instead of saying, lay on, Macduff, give me...
Yeah.
The worst thing to hear is like, I love deep pressure.
I hate that. In the beginning, right?
Yes.
In the
Before
beginning,
you even touched them.
they're like, yeah, I like deep tissue. I'm
Right.
like, you sure you want my deep tissue?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Listen, I'm a baker. You hear me? So
Needing that dough.
I be needing that dough, boy. I just, if I feel something tight, I'm trying to smooth it out. But
Right.
I know. But for the most part, I know how to read people now. I'm very, very intuitive when it comes to massage, and I like to listen. I like to take my time, and I like to work on certain areas over and over and over again. Even though if I come back to it, I think a lot of people are like, why are you working over there? It's because massage to me is like a diversion. If I if I focus on the problem, it's more of a problem. If I go somewhere else, and then you're attentive, or your body's like, oh shoot, I'm tight over here, the problem is gone.
Got it. I learned something.
That's what we're here for. I told you we're gonna go deep. Yeah. So, what are some common mistakes people make when trying to relieve tension or stress at home?
Well, I mean, for me, and we've had this conversation, the word stress needs to get redefined. It's an adaptive response to tension. Okay, so it's not a condition, and it's not you. You're not a stressful person unless you say it out your mouth. With that being said, it's all about tension and how you respond to it. So when you're at home, maybe just taking a moment to figure out what caused that tension, to really take a deep dive and do a body scan and think about your activities during the course of the day that caused that tension. And you may actually have some results, or some solutions. For instance, if you're working at the desk and you're hunched over like this and your head is leaning forward, and you do that for 20 minutes straight, that's going to cause some tension. And if you continue to lean forward like that for an additional 20 minutes, you're just going to be angry, right? So creating something where as you get up more and you move around, you look out the window, you do things that open up your mind and spirit. So the first thing is to really address where the tension is coming from, not just posturally, but physically and mentally.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think when it comes to people stressing and trying to take care of different issues themselves, I think that every now and then you need what do I call it? I call it what's it? It's a form of stretching.
No, not like dynamic or passive.
No, oh my God, I can't even think of it. I'm going to blank right now. The lights are messing with me.
It's a form of stretching.
It's a form passive range of motion.
Right.
There we go.
Right.
So There we go. So to me, it's passive range of motion. You can stretch, but I can stretch you more. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can rub on your elbows, you can rub on your forearms, but I can really rub your forearms to a point where, you know, where you really need to get in there. But I think all of it is very important.
Right.
I think stretching is important. Stretching at home is important. I think that, you know, if you have like a hydro bath or you have a jacuzzi or something like that, you have a cold plunge, all those different things are wonderful. You know, we talked about the Theragun earlier. If you have a Theragun and you don't manipulate it by using it too much, then that's good. But overuse will really mess your muscles up. So there's a number of things that you can do, but I think the most common mistake is that you don't do nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Do something.
Right.
Massage is great. Chiropractic care is great.
Right.
Acupuncture is great. Any other modalities you do? I'm pretty sure you know some.
I'm really big on Savasana, that kind of last posture in yoga that kind of sums up everything. Just, you know, and it's very difficult for most people. Just laying there with your arms outstretched, palms facing the ceiling, and focusing your breath into your abdomen, and just breathing into every part of your body, starting from the top of the head down to the toes. Right. To really get a sensation of what's going on with the body, and that will eventually start to release tension as you go. Also into doing Qigong, and in emergencies, I just get a slither of chocolate. Just a little piece of chocolate, and that can change your day.
Yeah.
Just that.
You just had me think of chocolate. I just love chocolate. I was like, where's the chocolate? You're talking about chocolate, a little piece of chocolate.
Yeah.
I just love chocolate. There was another thing. Somebody hit me to this. Once again, frequency, like frequency music, different types of frequency music.
Right.
And listen, Beethoven 7 will change your life. Will change your day, not your life. Life is long,
Right.
or short to some. But no. I mean, not short. Like
But
your
no,
life
no,
ends.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like
no, I get
I
you.
mean, to some, you know, like
Right.
we've lived. Like I still feel like I'm 18, but
Right.
I'm not. You
we're
know what
eternal.
I mean?
We're eternal.
But different music, different frequencies is very important to feed the soul.
Right.
And I think a lot of those things can help as far as, you know, de-stress you,
Well,
stuff like that.
you know, and that's interesting, right? Because the tone, sound, vibration establishes a mood within your body.
Right.
And frequency is about how many times something happens in a certain period of time.
Right.
So if you're constantly hearing something like that back to back, that can kind of shake you down, you know, shake
Right,
you up.
right.
So when you take that and you space it out, it eventually allows the body just to relax and let go. I like listening to Bob
Even out.
Marley. That's my thing.
Hey, listen, I think Bob Marley was a prophet.
Yeah.
I seriously do. I think certain people that come into this world at a certain time, I think it was just meant to be. And I mean, he didn't live the kind of life, not live the kind of life, but I'm saying as far as his upbringing and who his father was and who his mother was and just the time in Jamaica, and you know, certain people just come at a certain time and they leave. Right. They leave early.
Yeah.
That has always baffled me, but you know, not to go into Bob Marley, this is not that type of podcast, but I'm just saying that, you know, we all have a purpose.
Exactly.
We all have meaning. We all have something that we need to do before we leave here. And I just hope that everybody finds that. I think it's very important. And enough said.
Yes.
Are there any myths about massage that you would like to debunk right now? Massage myths. Debunk.
Massage myth.
Debunk.
That pain brings relief, or that pain is even an option. You know, in so many cases, pain may come about because things have to move around and things have not been moved around in a certain region of your body. But you shouldn't expect pain or even ask for pain.
Right.
You know, if I see a grimace on your face and your breathing going to your chest and you're like deeper, and I'm like, no, what are we, you know, no, what are we doing here, right? But if that's what you want, if it's an argument, I'll give it to you.
Right.
But for the most part, you should never expect pain to be an option.
Right.
It may happen, but that shouldn't be the number one. That's my whole thing.
Right. I don't know if I necessarily want to debunk anything at this moment. But what I do want to do is I want people to treat massage therapy as a way of life.
Good.
I want to debunk massage therapy as a luxury. That's what I want to do.
Right.
It is not a luxury, it's a necessity.
Right.
Whether it's 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever. Whether it's once a month, twice a week, once every couple of months.
Right.
I want to provide it as a service where people understand that, man, I need this more in my life to balance me out. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't need drugs.
Right.
I don't need anything else to kind of take me away from the reality of life. Within the reality of life, I want to get a massage every now and then and feel whole.
Right.
I want to feel my body. I want to feel present. I want to feel good. I want to know if there's anything going on that I need to address. You know, I want to bring all of those things to the surface and debunk the idea that massage is not necessary. There we go. That's what.
Especially in this day and time. Especially in this day, where you know, like where people, they're so agitated if their coworker comes in, hits them on the back or lightly, you know, they're like, you know. So you know, we all need touch. We all need good touch. You know, as opposed to touch that may set us off or make us more agitated. And you know, and just the, you know, we need time to take a nap, and that's what I really like about massage. It actually allows your client to take a nap.
Right.
You know, and it's beyond their control. They try to stop it. You see them fidgeting, but eventually they just, you know, and that's a beautiful thing about massage.
Yeah. No, for sure. Getting people to that point of relaxation,
Exactly.
retreat, you know. There's nothing like a moment, like when you're a therapist, there's nothing like that moment where you're like, I got him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right. I know what you're saying.
You're like,
Right.
wait, you know, especially people that come there and you're like, you know, they're defensive.
Right.
And then you kind of put your hands on them, and then you kind of like don't give them a massage until you know they're ready, and you kind of just have that palpating moment where you're just like, let me just figure out what's going on with them.
Right.
Let me figure out how deep I can go. Let me figure this out. And then all of a sudden, like you're doing this dance, and all of a sudden they're just like,
Right.
it's just like you're like, I got them. And I think that's the most. It's just the most peaceful and balancing moment when it comes to being a therapist.
And speaking to what you said earlier, as far as massage never being replaced by AI or robots, I think that's the perfect thing right there.
That's it.
A robot, or it can't. It's too many levels that switch up in the moment. You're touching, you're holding. There's a lot of things that's happening besides just needing and you know.
Right. And vibrating.
Right.
And,
exactly. Right.
yeah.
When to do it? When to do it? And is it in the natural rhythm of a human being? You can't program that.
You cannot.
You could try, but
yeah, I'm not going to do it. So yeah, so we talked about a lot, you know what I mean? And like I said, this is not scripted, but I do want to make sure that I ask as many questions as possible so that, you know, at least if there is questions out there, I could, you know, touch on the ones that are pretty basic to, you know, what everybody's desires and needs are. These are closing remarks, and I would like to say that in regards to massage, it's been a life changer for me. It has brought me into so many different arenas and in front of so many different people that I could have never done doing any other thing other than being a performer or being a politician.
Which is kind of the same.
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing. But like I said, it's been a wonderful journey. I look forward to more of it. And I look forward to doing more of these type of talks with other therapists and getting this information out to you all, the public, you all, other therapists who really want to know more about this profession and really want to be a part of this. I mean, it's a beautiful profession.
Yes.
It is a profession. I gotta promise you, it took me 10 years of doing this to get it. Like I was like, oh, yeah, I'm doing massage. Okay. Oh, I'm going to this event. Okay. And then at some point it was just like, no, this is it. Like this is real.
Yes.
You know, even 20 years in, I'm like, no, this is real.
Right.
You know, put it on my resume, stamp it.
Right.
I'm a healer. I'm somebody that's intuitive. I'm somebody that knows what they're doing. I've helped a lot of people. I'm official.
Right.
So, but that takes time. You're not going to get that in your first 2-5 years of doing massage therapy.
Right.
You're going to get it over time only. So if you're coming into this profession, if this is something you want to do, it's going to take time and you're going to have to evolve in it and find your space.
Exactly.
That's it. Anything you want to say?
Well, I just want to speak to all the introverts out there because I'm somewhat introverted and I can't pick a better profession to do to actually, it's like therapy for you as well. You know, you're there, you're having a one-on-one moment with a person and it's transparent, but yet there are boundaries. And it's in a professional environment. So, you know, if you're one of those people that feel a little anxious about being around people or expressing yourself, get into massage therapy. Okay, it'll be very therapeutic for your life. And it will put you on a lifelong journey on studying human beings. Because there's a lot of research in massage therapy. Once again, it's just not us just rubbing and manipulating tissue. We have to actually read publications, research, confer with other colleagues. There's a lot of things happening here, right? Just to make sure that you're safe and we're safe as well.
Right.
So,
it's funny. It's funny that you say that because I find myself always looking up muscles and like I should know that. Like I should know how they move, how they work, whatever. But I'm constantly looking them up. I'm constantly like reconfirming.
Yes.
What the name of it is, what it does, what you know, and all this stuff. And because I'm always explaining to people like how things work, and I'm like, wait, did I say that the right way? Like, wait, hold on a second.
Right.
You know, I want to make sure that what I say is truthful and real and makes sense. So that's a good point.
And you know, you're always another person when you read the same material again, and that's what I like about it. You have a different understanding of what you read before from that moment into the next moment.
Right.
So it's never ending on that level.
Exactly. So once again, this is Therapist Talk. I'm your host, Alexon, and this is Jaja. Jaja is here in New York, and he does house calls.
Not yet, but I'm in Williamsburg, Bushwick. Well, it's the same area. I'm in Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Okay.
Right.
So that's a brick and mortar you're in?
Yeah, I'm actually in a gym.
Oh, in a gym.
But,
okay.
you know, I have my space in the gym, Green Fitness Gym.
Okay.
The name of my business is 331 Wellness Strategies.
And how do they reach you?
You can catch me on the internet. Yeah. I'm also on Instagram, pretty much on Instagram and on the internet.
Okay. And we'll definitely leave your information also so people can, you know, reach out to you and you know, ask you any questions or if they want to book a session, you know. He's available. He's great. He's good. We both do events, and if you get us both, you're going to have a wonderful time.
Yes.
Or either one of us.
Either one. But both is better.
So, once again, Therapist Talk, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.